Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is super good. Let's give people a couple of seconds to start getting into our master tactics today. We're going to keep talking about the elephant in the room, which is the National Association of Realtors issue. We're following the news very closely. Okay. So, as of today, and as of last week, we still have a proposed settlement. We don't have yet a final settlement. What that means that everything that we have reading, seen, thank you over, good morning. Everything that we have been seeing, reading, etc. in the news is still a proposed settlement. Judge hasn't ratified yet the settlement, and the DOJ hasn't even stepped in yet. Okay, so let's review something that I found that I think is very, very nice and very important. What the real estate pros, the pro people in the industry, is really talking and thinking about this. Let's forget about the news. Let's forget about the headlines. Let's talk about reality, true and false reality. So I'm going to bring to the stage my left and right, Oscar. Hey, Oscar, how are you?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you wonderful. So you have a new thing?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Wonderful. Okay, let's talk about true and false about the National Association of Realtors $418 million lawsuit. Let's see what people is talking about. Let's see what the headlines are still saying. And again and again and again to all of you, don't stay on the headlines. When you read something, read through it. Remember, marketing tactic is to bring a very attractive headline. So people think that the headline is the news, and they're not. You really have to dig deeper. Okay? So let's go with what the real estate pros are saying regarding NAR and the myths about it. They don't believe the National Association of Realtor settlement myths. Let's start with the first one that I was reading, and let me, guys, give you an intro about this. Last week, the National Association of Realtors announced a settlement last week before that, so 2 weeks ago, a settlement agreement in the Sitzer Burnett case that would take effect in July. That's what they said. Let's see if that happens in July. For those who missed the declarations in the media that this outcome will render transacting real estate almost free, which is not true, protect consumers, and make homeownership affordable once again, the settlement does none of that. And here is the truth. Let's talk about the first one. The settlement forces brokers to reduce their compensation. Oscar, is that true or false?
That's totally false because actually the compensation will be negotiable with the seller and also with the buyer. The things that, of course, we're going to have to adapt to whatever comes next, but still, actually, sellers are not forced and have never been forced to pay commission to a cooperating broker.
Exactly. Those fees have always been negotiable. And always. Nobody said that 6% was mandatory. It has always been customary, okay? It was customary to be paid by the seller sometimes. Sometimes, guys, because remember in commercial real estate, Sellers don't pay the commission. Usually buyers do. Okay. So this has always been a customary thing in residential real estate. Okay. Now, in every market, there is a wide variety of fees. Just as there are levels of marketing services and competency. So the best you can sell yourself, the most professional you can become, the most educated in real estate, the more credentials you acquire on real estate, your services are going to be more and more expensive. So to to summarize, the settlement forces brokers to reduce their compensation. That is absolutely false. Anybody has any questions as of right now? Let me know, okay, on the chat. So let's go with the second one, Oscar. The
which is
settlement, I will read it and we'll discuss it together. The settlement will, for the first time, allows sellers to no longer pay compensation for an agent bringing the buyer. True or false?
that's also false, and that's actually part of the answer from before. Nobody told them that they're gonna have to pay 6%. Of course, there were some realtors out there that, in order to get the full commission, they were telling their sellers that was final, and that was the decision from the brokerage. That's not true because actually this is a free market and anyone can transact directly as an independent contractor. And that's been happening for so long, since I don't know, 40 years already in the market.
Correct. It was a practice that worked well, okay? But it was a practice. A past rule requiring an offer of some amount of compensation was a rule of display on realtor owned MLS. Yet, it could have been as low as $1. That limitation was already removed, and today the MLS accepts all listings, regardless of buyer agent consideration. Okay? It was a practice, it worked well. Now, the regulation changed. But, guys, listen to this, and I've been doing this and telling you guys this for like since this thing started last year. For me, and this is very my personal point of view, real estate commissions are commanded by supply and demand. They're not commanded by regulations. We have to work within regulations. But real estate commissions are supply and demand. It depends only on the market. And as an example, when a developer, and I put that example over and over, and I gave you this example over and over again. When a developer needs to get rid of their units because they have so many units on the market, the only thing that they do is they increase commissions. That's supply and demand. There is a lot of supply, there is low demand, commissions are going up. Let's remember what happened in the pandemic year. Companies like NAR on single family homes, they were selling single family homes like hotcakes. They were paying 1% commission, and people were bringing buyers because there was a lot of demand. So again, we have to work within the regulations, but for me, commissions are a result of a supply and demand market. Let's go with the next one. Okay. The settlement prohibits sellers from paying a commission to a buyer's agent and relieves sellers of the financial burden. Is that true or false, Oscar?
That's also false. The only change that is going to happen on July, if of course they finish the settlement, of course, is that they cannot advertise the cooperating commission on the MLS. That's the only difference. still sellers, in order to sell their property, they're gonna have to offer something in exchange to bring the buyer in, because actually the listing agent can advertise the property by themselves, but of course the most uh, possibilities of bringing a buyer is through a cooperating broker. Still, everything is negotiable. Everything can be negotiated before with the listing agent, of course, with the seller through the listing agent and or with the buyer.
Correct. Let's talk about something nice that is coming out of this. Okay. How many times have we taken a prospect buyer and we have showed them 10, 15, 20 houses without signing a paper? And 3 days later, they said that, oh, my nephew just got his license. So we are buying through him just to help him. And you took that client to show them 20 properties. From now on, you cannot show any properties if you don't have a buyer's agreement signed. That indicates that that buyer is working with you exclusively. So that thing that let me take you in my car, spend my time, my gas, my knowledge, having you opening doors for you, having you around the neighborhood, and then you're going to buy the property through your nephew. It's not gonna happen anymore. So something very good is coming out of this. Let's go to the fourth with the fourth myth. The settlement will serve to meaningfully lower prices and make homeownership affordable again. False or true, Oscar?
That's also false. And this is something that Claudia brought at the beginning. The market, the real estate market, is determined by the supply and demand. Doesn't have anything to do with the commissions. And let me tell you something: a savvy realtor, an experienced realtor, if they become a buyer's agent, they have more chances to get more money on their pockets than the listing agent. And let me tell you why. The reason is because if you know how to handle the buyer's brokerage commission, okay, in order to secure your commission with this with the buyer, but if you can negotiate with the listing agent some part of the commission, you can get more money than the listing agent actually. So that's totally false. Commissions are gonna be paid by either buyer or seller, mostly by the seller if they continue, of course, with the training, and it all depends on the buyer's agent. Okay, so prices are not determined by the commissions. Prices are determined by the market, demand and supply.
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, exactly. Okay, you guys know that I love to give you hands-on examples. Let me give you one. I'm a listing agent. Okay. I have this property on the market. Okay. Seller says that he's not gonna cooperate with a prospect buyer's agent. Typically, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna say that. Okay. Okay. So the house is sitting on the market waiting for a prospect buyer to come and knock the door, and that prospect buyer has agreed to pay the commission to the agent's buyer. So this is the scenario that we're thinking is going to happen, right? So before March 15, when the seller was cooperating 3% on the MLS, that seller and agent had, let's say, 10 showings in a month. Okay. Because the prospect buyer was looking through the MLS, the house meet the criteria for that buyer, and the agent for the prospect buyer, went and showed the house. Now, that seller is saying, I don't have to pay commission to the buyer's agent, so put zero on the MLS, so don't offer commission. Okay, don't offer commission. Now, if I don't have as a prospect buyer's representative a signed agreement, I cannot go and show that property. So instead of showing the property to 10 prospect buyers, I'm going to have maybe 2 or 3 that are coming to show that unit, correct? And then that property is going to be sitting on the market for how many months? Before, the exposure was 10 per month. Now the exposure is going to be 2 or 3 a month. You guys know what happens when a property stays on the market for 30, 60, 90, 120 days? The prospect seller will have to do 2 things: either lower the price to sell or pay agent's commission. Exactly, notice the price has to go down. So the seller will have either lower the price or pay agent's commission, prospect agent's commission, the buyers, to generate more traffic. So if I am representing a seller, make sure, guys, that I'm going to tell the seller, if you want to sell fast, we need to offer a compensation to the prospect buyer's agent. And they will say, no, no, I don't want to. Okay, let's wait 30 days to see what happens. If in 30 days we don't have enough traction, we will have to pay compensation. So either they decide to pay compensation, or they will have to lower the price of the property, because there is not going to be enough traction to sell that property, unless we are on a buyer's market where the supply is limited, the demand is high, and guess what's going to happen if a buyer really wants that property? They're going to pay us the commission because they want the property. So, guys, the name of the game hasn't changed, just the way we present it. It's the only thing that is changing, but the game is still the same. So let's go with the number 5. The settlement is a win for buyers who will now be able to negotiate the fee for representation. Oscar, false or true?
I think it's false, and I'm gonna give my personal opinion on this.
Okay, I think it's
Um,
questionable, but that's why we love the master talks on Tuesday. Go for it.
yes, because actually the power of the negotiation is not for the buyers. The buyers may think that they can negotiate directly, but of course, everything has to be done through the realtor. The power of the buyer does not depend on the commission that the realtor is going to get, because sometimes the buyer, if they're financing the property, they're going to have to pay for additional costs like closing costs or lending charges or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Um, and they may think that they can negotiate directly or through the realtors a better option for them, but actually remember that the negotiator is actually the middle, the one in the middle, the realtor. So it's very questionable because I don't think the buyer will be able to do that. Okay,
Okay, that's what you think. The buyer won't be able to pay the commission upfront,
not to pay the commission, to negotiate the price.
negotiate the commission. Okay, okay, I agree with you in that part. But I think something else is coming. I'm pretty sure banks are already thinking how to allow buyers to pay the commission to the agent and put it inside the closing cost.
And something that's gonna be, of course, they're gonna have to do something. Otherwise, they're gonna be losing a lot of money. So
A
they're gonna
lot
have
of
to come up with
deals.
something. Yeah.
Exactly. They have to come up with something. I'm
So
pretty sure banks are already thinking how we're going to create a program that buyer can pay the commission to the buyer's agent and we can put it inside the mortgage and they can pay it over time during the time of the mortgage. I think that is going to be part of what we're going to see next. And we have to see something. Let me tell you why. Something that the settlement totally overlooked was what's going to happen with the VA and Freddie and Fannie and FHAs. They have they haven't figured that out.
yeah,
So they have to come up with a solution for that. And then the private banking system is going to come up with a solution for the people that is not buying through a VA or a Freddie or Fannie, but are buying with 20% down. So let's see, because I'm pretty sure the banking system is not going to stay as it is in the mortgage industry. They will have to get creative. Okay, let's talk about number 6. The settlement will result in significant restitution to consumers who were harmed over recent years in their transaction by realtors. Is that true or false?
that's totally false. And the best example that we can see out there is on this settlement, $418 million. Who is actually getting all that money? It's not the consumers,
Lawyers.
the
Yay.
lawyers.
Yeah.
So we were discussing something yesterday, and it was funny for me to understand that only $180 were going to the sellers that participate on the class actions lawsuit.
Imagine that,
$180.
Oscar, you know what I was reading today?
Mm-hmm.
That when they're done with everything, including the class action for all the companies that they have settled with, the potentially qualifying consumers, they're gonna receive about $10 per person.
That's totally ridiculous.
$10 per person. And the lawyers are way over $100 million in fees. Can you believe that?
It's unbelievable.
Uh, as a real estate professional, it says here in what I'm reading, for over 40 years, I've had the privilege of working with realtors who represented the public in what is likely their largest investment. What I have witnessed are those countless situations where an agent has gone above and beyond, and we have many agents like that, okay, to help buyers realize their dreams and sellers maximize the returns, often serving in ways far beyond their job description, which I hate for you guys when you do that, okay, but that's That's correct. I mean, I'm not saying that I hate that you guys go above and beyond on your service as a real estate agents for sellers and buyers. I hate it when you guys go above and beyond trying to be psychiatrists, movers, accountants, um, attorneys, etc. I love when you guys go above and beyond in customer service within the duty of your real estate license. But remember, there is a liability if we cross over those lines. So, people, chill out, relax, okay? This is just the way we're going to present it. You're going to see in a couple of months we are going to be conducting business and we're going to be making the same amount of money in a different way. That's all. That's all. Let's see what the judge come up with solutions or settlement or ratifying what happened or the comments, changes, or additions from the DOJ in this matter. So, do we have any more questions right now? No? Okay. Everybody that we have here, Julie, is from brokers today. Can you see the people? Yeah, attorneys are getting most of the money. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of money attorneys is getting. I'm just reading our chat, private chat. Everybody that is here is from brokers. I believe so. Guys, whoever hasn't been called for a meeting at the office this Thursday or next week, because we are announcing some changes that we are making to our platform, you're gonna receive a call or a WhatsApp message today from Julieta or Patricia. Okay. So anybody has any questions today about NAR? Nothing really has changed. So we just wanted to go over what we think is true and false on the all the headlines on the news right now. So Oscar, anything else to add to it?
Um, yes, just one last thought. Um, this is something that is going to come up in a good way for realtors that are seasoned realtors. The real estate business is not going to disappear. It's going to remain for so many years to come. And of course, it is going to impact some of the agents, but believe me, the new agents are the most impacted ones because actually the learning curve is going to be longer. So if they want to remain into the business, they're going to have to um, be more patient because this is going to be a very professional business from now on. So whoever has the knowledge is going to remain in the business. That's why I think for new realtors it's going to be a little difficult, um, and there's going to be some dropouts. But don't get discouraged. Actually, this is good for realtors that are very professional in their field. So that was my last thought.
Hey guys, and it doesn't mean that the newbies cannot become professional. You just have to go faster. You just
Mhm.
have to dedicate time to learn, to get certifications, to go through classes and hours and courses and but the most important thing for me right now with the changes is to team up. Team up. The oldies with the newbies. The newbies has so many things to teach us as well. They have a new sphere of influence. They are usually younger. They are more tech advanced. And we, the oldies, Oscar, not me. Okay. I'm referring to
Thank
him.
you.
Okay. Yeah. He, the oldie, we, the oldies, We have experience. We know what's wrong. We know we had all the problems already. So we can guide the newbies on the right direction. We know the contracts. We have the experience. So for me, the way South Florida is becoming right now, that for me is the new Dubai of the Americas. We need to team up and we need to be globalized. We need to globalize our business. Miami is not the next door neighbor selling our house or buying or bringing the cousin or the aunt or the nephew. Those are not our clients anymore. Our clients are in the other side of the world right now, and we need to go and look for them. So, saying this, um, we have a new platform in brokers that we are going to show you guys. So wait for Julieta's WhatsApp or phone call to meet us at the office this Thursday or next week. Okay, she's gonna give you the options. Um, I'm very happy that I have to put buyers under agreement now. Over. I think that's a good thing for us. No taking people into our cars and showing them around, and that's it. Yeah. Now they have to sign an agreement with us, which is good. So guys, it was so good to see all of you. Remember that this is recorded in our YouTube channel, so you can send it or hear it, the people that just got in, because I just see that five more people got into the meeting like 10 minutes ago. So you can see the recording in our YouTube channel. Julieta is gonna send it through Slack. And I hope to see you all next Thursday. No, this coming Thursday or next week, depending of your agenda. So see you soon, everyone. Oscar, thank you.
My pleasure.
Willie, always
Thank you,
thank you
guys.
for being on the back, okay? See you later. Bye bye.